Hello, Cancer. It's Maggie the Irish Gypsy bringing you your November 2024 general reading. We're looking at the first half of November, roughly the first couple of weeks, and this reading is for you, the water sign of Cancer. I hope everyone's doing well. Thanks so much for taking the time to be here, to be part of the great gift and blessing it is to create these videos. Thank you for your time and attention in watching them, and for those of you who like, share, and subscribe, my gratitude. Thank you. So Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. This is for you, cross-watchers. If you're cross-watching for a Cancerian, this video is relevant and useful for you as well. It's a general reading, might resonate a little differently for everyone who watches. Take what resonates for you, leave the rest behind, of course. If you know any of your other signs, sign placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, it's helpful to watch those videos as well for any additional insight or perspective they can provide into your personal situation. If something really does hit home with you and you'd like to take another look at it, maybe pull the curtain back and take a deeper dive on it and reach out for a personal reading with me for yourself or as a gift for someone else, or you simply resonate with the reading style. If you're interested, you can email me at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. You can see that contact information also by clicking the description of this video or the word that says more. You can see it there as well. I would love to hear from you. I can usually get back to you same day or within 24 hours with information. I do offer a pretty wide scope of choices for reading options, different types, lengths, costs, styles, spreads. I've put a little something in there for everyone, and I'm quite focused and diligent on timely scheduling for personal readings. It's what I do full time. It's all that I do. So if you're interested, please email me. Okay, Cancer. Let's see what the first half of November looks like for you. For those of you who like to know, I am using the Royal Deluxe Tarot, clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. We begin with the Two of Swords. Tough decisions, tough choices, being at a crossroads, needing to kind of tap your intuition and your intellect, right? It's kind of like, okay, what are the facts and what is my intuition telling me? Because it looks like there's a tough choice here in front of you. Five of Wands, yeah, conflict. Internal conflict perhaps within yourself, might be external conflict with another person or other people, might be a bit of both. Conflict in making the right choice. Next we have the Eight of Coins or Pentacles, the Eight of Earth. Work, nose to the grindstone, putting a lot of effort and work into something because you want to build a solid, stable foundation for yourself, paying attention to detail. With the Five of Swords, is it worth it? I mean, the Five of Swords is, it's kind of a hard-won victory or winning at all costs, being super ambitious. Is the amount of work you've been putting into something worth it? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? It may be that you're going through some challenges right now, trying to figure out what's the best way through it. It may be that you're asking yourself if it's time to let something go and move on. It can also represent that your fears might be the thing that's limiting you. Your deep-seated fears and anxieties might be the thing that's causing you to think small or limit you or feel like your choices are limited. Like often when we get into a very stressed or anxious, fearful place, our vision, our focus gets really, really narrow and kind of small and tight. And that sometimes limits us in, taking a step back and, kind of tapping in our intuition to go, okay, well, what's another way that I could do this? Maybe being kind of tapping into your creative side a bit. When we're in a fearful, anxious time, we don't think about that kind of stuff. That part of us just kind of gets closed off. We just get focused on what the issue or the challenge or the problem is, and our fears kind of tend to limit what we think our choices are. Next, we have the Four of Coins, which is a card of economy. It's a card of being careful. It's a card of, it's sometimes called the miser card because It's a card of having to be really, really careful with your resources, whether those resources are financial, material, emotional, or a combination of all of those. Maybe you've lost a lot in the past, and so you're super careful, maybe even a bit on the stingy side. You'll show them, but you don't want to give anything out because what if I don't have enough for myself? Again, it's a very kind of tight, limited energy with the Ace of Swords here, but there's a new idea, a new perspective coming in here. The Ace of Swords is kind of like a new perspective. It's kind of like that epiphany, that light bulb going off over your head. That will broaden, that will allow you to take a step back to get some perspective and go, what if I did this? Or I wonder if this is possible, right? From the bottom of the deck, the overall energy and focus for the first half of November is the Star. That's the overall focus. I'm not laughing at you, Cancer. Well, kind of, but not in a bad way. So, the Star, in the tarot, the Star actually comes after the Tower, which represents, upheaval in your life, that can potentially, shake the foundations of your life path or end something and put you on a completely different path. And the Star comes after that to renew, restore, and rebuild hope, faith, optimism. It's wish fulfillment, but it is a card that requires a certain amount of faith, putting one foot in front of the other, moving forward, opening yourself up to maybe a more creative solution here. There's also a suggestion that it's time to perhaps let go of some old perspective, some old ideology, an old way of looking at something, whether that means letting go of actual stuff and walking away, like, a relationship perhaps, or a work or career situation. It might be, this is a general reading, so the little details will often vary, and the intensity in a general reading will vary. Some of you, it might be just this, some of you, it might be bigger than that, but the fundamental energy remains the same. It's kind of, the Star, hope and faith hope is kind of like the sun breaking through the clouds, morning coming after the night, or wellness coming after sickness. It broadens our view and allows us to look at potential and opportunities for change, for growth, for expansion. And we can't when we're right in the midst of focusing just on our fears and anxieties, right? We may miss choices, or are there other options that we could take, right? So renewal and hope and expansion, meaning not overly focusing on your fears, doubts, and insecurities of whatever the situation is, to limit what you think your choices are, because it's really your fear and anxiety being exaggerated that is what's limiting your choices, or limiting your ability to see more options. Let's take a look at that Star card. Yeah, Ace of Wands, new beginnings, exciting new beginnings, the beginning of action, perhaps in a new or different direction. Powerful movement, powerful messages, perhaps travel, perhaps physical movement as well. Justice, judgment, and the Five of Wands. There's that conflict again, that Five of Wands again. There's conflict. What's the best way to do this? What's the way to go forward? With justice and judgment, both, it may be legal issues, financial issues, legal issues in any area of your life. It might be that some of you are struggling with. It can be about what is the right thing to do. Because justice and judgment, justice is more the black and white, the rule of law, what's fair, equitable, and even based on what the actual facts and evidence are, what people actually choose, right? Judgment is applying that, using the rule of law and applying it, because that's what being judged means, being called to account, but doing it also with a certain level of compassion and, this is what's right and fair by the rule of law. How can I apply that law in, but also having some kind of compassion or mitigation, right? So what's the right, ultimately it's a struggle as to what the right thing to do here is. But hope, Two of Swords, Five of Wands. Death and the Wheel of Fortune. Transformation coming in. This is a period and time of transformation, divine timing and orchestration, meaning God, Spirit, angels, guides, fingerprints are all over it. You have a choice as to how you react to it, but change is here. Change is coming in. The Four of Wands, one of the happy home celebrations, reunions, weddings. The Four of Cups can represent a new offer or opportunity, being in front of you, in front of someone. But there's a sense of apathy about taking it. I mean, the Four of Cups can represent a person being in a situation or feeling like they've gotten themselves in a situation, and the situation they're in isn't terribly satisfying or fulfilling, but it's familiar and it's known. It has its own bit of comfort, right? Here's a new opportunity coming out of the sky, divine timing and orchestration. But the fact that there's some reluctance and resistance to move on it can represent that the person is scared to move forward on a new path, scared to kind of open up and look at something new because they're afraid of letting go of the familiar, even if the familiar isn't all that great either. I think this is the conflict, is fear of a new and relatively unknown path or choice or opportunity here. Eight of Coins, but it feels like, definitely looks like Spirit's bringing it to you, Cancer. Eight of Coins, Five of Swords. The Star again. The Five of Pentacles, hope for growth and expansion. Hope for renewal. Hope for starting fresh. Letting go of a burden perhaps you've carried for quite some time. There's a lot of challenges on this path with the Chariot and the Seven of Pentacles, but also there's been a lot of effort put into something. Again, change and transformation and trying to figure out if you want to let go of something entirely or you want to explore different avenues and ways of approaching it, and not allowing those fears to shrink your vision of what's actually possible. Four of Coins, Ace of Swords. Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning in a practical way. It could be new job, moving, relocating, new money, new projects, or a combination of all of those things. Ace of Cups, renewal. This is getting a kind of an epiphany on how you could move forward and have a fresh new beginning. We can use the best aspects of the Four of Coins or Four of Pentacles, which is a card of being careful, economical, and balanced. It's a card of saving, and we need to be careful typically in order to do that. Maybe getting some new insight on how to move forward with that in an assertive and decisive, planned way. To bring relief, to bring an uplifting of what the burdens are, of what the anxieties, stresses, and concerns are here. It's a card that, I mean, the whole theme of this, Cancer, is kind of like, instead of focusing on whatever the issues or challenges are, oh my God, what am I going to do about this? Okay, asking yourself, okay, what am I going to do about this? What are my options? Thinking about it, perhaps seeking out some advice and guidance from other people whose opinion and experience you respect. What can I do? What are my options? Can I be creative? What is this? There's a way to do it here. All right. Advice, guidance, feedback from Spirit. The Devil and the Two of Swords. That Two of Swords again. Be careful about letting your impulses, your whims, and your fears and anxieties be the thing that holds you back from making the right choice or feeling like you have more choices. Again, there's a thing here about perhaps impulses and whims and fears and anxieties limiting what you think you're able to do in this situation. The High Priestess and the Tower. Tapping into your intuition, your gut instinct, staying grounded in that will go a long ways towards balancing out fears and anxieties you have. It's obviously a period of transformation. If there are things that seem to be falling away in your life, they need to fall away. 8 and 9 of Swords, don't allow yourself to be limited by your fears, doubts, and anxieties. Don't let your fears and your anxieties in dealing with what's in front of you to deal with be the thing that makes you feel that you're trapped and that you don't have any other choices. That you can't, because I mean, the 8 and 9 of Swords is being in an energetic space where you feel like I'm in a situation, perhaps I've gotten myself in a situation and I feel like there's no way out. I feel like I'm trapped. I feel like I don't have choices, or I only have this one choice, which I don't like. That's not the case. That kind of fear can be very paralyzing and keep you trapped. It can also make you avoid something that needs to be dealt with as well. There's hope and help out there. Yeah. I feel like for some of you too, to not isolate during this period or feel like you have to carry this burden yourself. It feels also like seeking some advice and guidance from other people, regardless of what this is about. I mean, there's a fair number of pentacles. It might be about money, career, work, something like that. I mean, it could be about anything really. But there's a sense of seeking out advice and guidance and feedback and support from people that you trust. Because remember, the overall focus is the star, renewed, restored hope, faith, and optimism. You know, winter after spring, health after sickness, hope after despair. That's what that's about. All right. I'm going to leave it there, Cancer. Those are your messages for the first half of November 2024. I hope for those of you for whom they were relevant, that they were helpful and useful and gave you some food for thought moving forward, or validation. If they did, hit home with you and resonate, and you'd like to take a deeper look at it and reach out for a personal reading with me for yourself or as a gift for someone else, or you simply like the reading style, if you're interested, email me, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can also see that contact information by clicking the description of this video or the word that says more. I would be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. I will see you all quite soon for the next set of readings. Until then, stay well, stay safe. Hope to see you back here again soon, and I hope to hear from some of you as well. Bye-bye.